Hello everybody, this will be a full-length tutorial of how to build a full-stack app with ComfyDeploy that you could integrate with your ComfyUI workflow as API. So here's the outcome of the demo. You can see you can log in, you can generate an image with webhook being set up, and the whole project NextJS is open source. And then we'll go through it step by step. The whole video I show will be really a stripped down version of the full template. I just changed the UI a little bit after the video, so feel free to enjoy it and let me know in Discord or down in the comment section if there's any issue you pump into, and then you can start changing out your workflow. Hey, hello everyone. Today I'll be building a full stack app demo with ComfyDeploy. We'll be doing a custom workflow with ComfyUI on the cloud, and then the full stack app will include authentication, database, and more. So first I'll get started by creating a NextJS app. So copying the command here, button create next app, and go with a ComfyDeploy full stack demo. So TypeScript, yes. And open it into cursor, and let's get it running. We will be installing Schema and Next. We'll be running this. Let's go with the default settings, and it should be good to go. Yeah, let's just add some basic components. Okay, we'll be adding some more components as well. We'll also need the input component as well. And then we could start scaffolding the app. So it will be first straightforward with a text prompt input and also a button to submit the workflow run, and then calling to ComfyDeploy. So we're first getting a very simple text box out there. Going to the app page. Let's just remove everything. And let's get started by having a very simple input component. Raising image. So now we have a very simple layout setup. How about I just go straight into getting a simple workflow running? So now what I have to do is basic stable diffusion 1.5 workflow. And more, I'm going to create a new machine as well to showcase how that would go. So that would be the stack demo. And you can leave all the settings at default as we don't need anything extra currently. So you'll see the machine is being built. It should be really quick. And yeah, it's done now. Let's just go back. So the full stack demo here, this is for new interface. You have to select the machine that you just created, and then it will actually start loading up the workspace for you. So what I could do now is I could mess around with the cloud ComfyUI, and it usually takes around 20 seconds for the first pull start for running the workspace. It's purely CPU. Whenever you queue prompt, the GPU will be utilized, so you have no additional costs at this moment. So yeah, now you can see the demos here. I could actually run the prompt with the default settings here. You'll see it's actually running it. And then you'll see the new runs is being queued here. You can also see it's being queued. And then we're going to wait a little bit. And you can see it's actually started to execute. And that's how you're going to test out the workflow run. For the very basic stable diffusion workflow, is pretty straightforward. You run it, and it got queued up, and you will see it right here. For the second run, it will be way faster because it's being cached. You see it goes straight into the case sampling process because the model is still being warmed up. So you could go back to the machine page to actually configure your workflow, your machine right here. You see the settings right here. The idle timeout, you could change it to make it keep warm for a longer time. So whenever you go back, it's still being warm. The workflow run will be way faster. So every time you go to the next page, the whole thing would be low as you've visited another page, but it is being cached. It's kind of really fast for the workspace to load up. Yeah, so now what I'm going to demonstrate is I could deploy the workflow. Actually, I could go straight into Chrome. This matter right now. You see the whole section for how you could integrate our SDK and integrate the API as well. So what I could do now, I could copy out. I'm going to install ComfyDeploy. Right, so I'm going to go back here, but instead of npm, I'm going to change to button. So button I ComfyDeploy. You can see it's installed really quickly. Okay. And then what I could do next is we have to create a client. So we're going to be creating a server function. So I'm going to create a new folder, which is called server. And then I'm going to generate. Yes. Yeah. And then we'll actually initialize the client right here. And we'll also have it import ComfyDeploy. Okay. So the next step would be actually running it. And then I could actually see it being run. I'm going to copy it right over here. And this is actually, I could comment out a webhook right now. But so what I could do is I could return the run ID. And whenever I generate an image, what I get in the front end is I could have a run ID back, which I could even, so let me just use this as a, totally we could extract those into, let's see here. Running. Yeah, it could be a better check. It was there's any issue right there. So this could be null. If results, I'm going to return result.run ID. Also, I'm going to return the So here is a very simple generate image server action, which I'll be calling straight from here. So what I'll be showing you guys is whenever it's on click, it will actually call the server action to generate the image. And then I could actually put in the, let me do this. Let me do it in a simple text. This will be a prompt. This will be set prompt. And then I'll be putting this template text right here. So I got something immediately. Way better right now. So let me just do a gap. Right, didn't make it way more stays there. I'm going to put this button here as well. So this generate button would be right here. To flat row. Oh, this looks way better right now. I'm going to constrain the width a little bit. So it's max width. Max width. Large with the. Okay. And then let me do a auto here. So it should be sent. Okay, this looks way better right now. And we'll be typing in the prompt, we'll be generating, and this will be actually taking in the prompt. Right, generate image. Yeah, my TypeScript server is a little bit broken. But let me. So now you got a text prompt, you got an input field, you got a button, and then it will actually calls into a generate image, and then it will actually calls to the remote client and ComfyDeploy, and it will generate. So now I'm going to add in an API key, because now you can see I have this one here, but I got nothing here. Environment variable. I'll be adding an environment variable, ComfyDeploy API key. I'll be generating a key for the demo purpose. So I'll be doing a full stack demo as well. Create a key here, copy over the key, don't let everybody else know. Paste it right here. So this will be the environment key. So now this will be in the server. And some reason, let me go see if that works. So let me change it to a call. And then hit generate. It should be actually hitting the endpoint right here. And we'll go back, check out the full stack demo view and check out the API. And see, actually, we just queued a prompt. And the positive prompt is with a call. This is how you get the whole thing integrated. Now that it's running, you have to get the result back. So we do want to also show the loading status as well. So what I'd be usually doing with the pooling mechanism is for every 5 seconds, we're going to check the output, right? So what you can do is you go back to here, and then you can check out the second function. second demo that showcase how you do the pulling method. So what I will be doing is copy this function right here, chat status, and I can do client.getRun with the run ID that I just given in. And then on the front end, what I can actually do is I could actually do another client-side function. It's called, for example, I could add a function called output render right here and export it right. And it will actually check every 2 seconds, and then it will get the image out. So in a little bit here, it's like image, set image, and then I'll actually display the image right here. So I'm going to steal the component from our NextJS demo. So we're going to ComfyDeploy, NextJS demo, and then we can actually steal the output component from here. Components. Let's see, 1 second. A generation results. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one is pretty good. Actually, I'm going to copy the whole thing out. So we actually get the same result from as well, like image generation result. Okay. Bonus, a pretty new one. Image generation result. RTX6. But you can just place the whole thing here. Okay, cool. So what it will actually be doing is whenever I call generate function, generate image, I will actually be getting back the run ID, right? So this could be an async function, and I wait the whole thing. And then I'll be actually storing the run ID there as well. So run ID will be here. So it will be there as well. So run ID will states. Okay, nothing here. And then I'll be setting up the run ID. Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah, so it should be setting the run ID directly, or we have the run ID here. And then that run ID will be actually used to generate the image, and I'll display it. So this component, copy straight from there. It will show the status and as well as the image, and also display skeleton for us. Oh, I have to install it as well. So I can actually add multiple components here. I'm going to add progress. So we have add progress, and I'll be adding progress and progress. Let me see what else I need. Skeleton. Yeah, I think progress and skeleton. Over the loading icon, I'm going to copy it again from our NextJS demo as well. Loading icon, let me just grab this right here real quick. Loading icon. Loading icon.txt. So that's what the loading icon. Let's see. How's the app here? Okay. Doesn't seem like any issues right here. And what we can do next is display the image generation results with the run ID equals to here. So let's input it. Let's restart this. I have to check if the run ID is okay. That could actually be undefined. Just make it default defined. So that could be undefined. Okay. Yeah. It's trained. And if I have the run ID, I'll be doing that. Right. Okay. So we've run it. We get a run ID. We do the tooling mechanism here to check the backend if we actually have the image and then we display it. So let's see how that goes. So let it generate again. And then you can see it's actually preparing because we have to run it back and display all the status. And then you actually run, you wait for the output. Yeah. So this is how we build a very straightforward text to image demonstration with NextJS. In next, I'll be doing, yeah, you got image displayed back here. Yeah, so this is how simple it is to build a custom text to image generation with the workflow that you have right here. And you can see all the run with all the input, output as well. And what you could do next is you can modify the workflow as much as you can. And in the next video, we'll be talking about how I could be adding authentication, adding database. So then you can have account management. You're gonna see all the workflow run. And then we're gonna spice it up a little bit by adding more workflow example in this demo app. So I'll see you in the next video. So in this second session, what we'll be doing is adding database. We'll be using Drizzle and libSQL. Here, I'm going to first install the dependency that they have in this Excel. I'll be looking through it, just copying it out. So let me also add sort as well. Sort. And then SQL client. If fine for now. So this got installed. Let's take a look at the setup. So they will be having a local database URL, this is a very straightforward. I could just have a single file being the database. I'm going to also paste it here just in case. And then in this example, they actually, let me see, copy over the schema TS file. Let's paste it over here. We'll create DB folder with the schema.ts. And just copy this over. We'll be having a simpler table, which is easier for us to demonstrate. But let's see. So that was okay. Visual sort. Let me install that as well. Perfect. This is looking right now. And let me see. So this is how we are going to create a client and database. Let me create a file. Oops. Create client will be from SQL client. And yeah, this will be a process.environment. Just so will be this one. So here we'll be initializing our database. And this is our database schema, which we're going to modify afterward. But let's see if that's gonna work right now. You also have a function to create a migration. So I do think we have to, let me see. All right. We have to generate the migration as well. Let me check. Yeah. Normal migration folder. And it would be migrations. Okay. I would probably need to also have a file to migrate the whole thing. So whenever I change the database schema, I probably want to rerun the migration. So let me do a migrate.ngs. Let's see. I'm going to import the same database and I'm going to copy over this function and then I will be running it directly. I'll be as well. Okay, let me first just test for it. So this would be, okay, so here we're running the migration and we'll probably do, let me see. Check. Let me just change that to MTS. It should also be able to run. Okay, it's running and you see it created a file here, which it failed because we have no migration. So we first gonna run the generate function, which we'll have to generate a schema based on that definition. So we have to pm generate. Let me see what that function is. Generates drizzle kit generates real light. Okay, so let's do the same script here as well. Copy this over. Going to here, we're going to package JSON, adding this one here. Might as well we add the migrate folder, so we run the script here. Excuse me. Okay, so this will be bun run. Since this is at the root level, I just migrate MTS. And what we'll be doing bun run migrate. Okay, so let's generate first. Oh shit. Generate. Oh, we have to also install drizzle kit as well. The drizzle kit, run generate, and we also need to have the configuration. We're missing the config file. Let me see. Let me just copy over that configuration file. So this one is so config.ts. Then let's copy this over. And we'll be in migration folder. This will be source schema.source database schema.ts. Okay, this is correct. Let's try generating. Okay, so we have the first migration here, which later on we're gonna wipe it and create a new one. But right now we just try to see if the whole thing works. And then we have to run migrate. We have to run generate, and then we run migrate. Okay, so the whole thing is migrated. Let me see. Yeah, something is in the database and it's going to load. And I do think it's been set up correctly now that we could actually try to run something. Yeah, we could try adding some dummy data inside the database to see if that works. So we could actually create a new file, and that actually could insert some dummy data. Could actually, wait, let me just do it. I could actually do a script here. Let's see. And then we could actually do that. Could actually insert. Yeah, let's insert a dummy user into it. And then we could actually query the user back when we actually run the server. And so let me try running migrate again, which that is in the different file. Let's see. But this will insert a dummy data into a database, and then we'll query the data somewhere in the page. We'll lock it out. We're going to move this component down to a client component, so I could do server-side query at the first level. So what are we doing is turning that into a component. Export function. So this will basically be the main app. And are we turning this into... Yeah, are we moving the whole thing? Moving the whole component into here. And then we will be having the app right here. And I'm going to move to a new file. And that app I'm going to move into component. And now here we'll be having when we move this one, this will be a server-side rendered application right now. Few things we have to, some reason it keep bugging by IntelliSense, but yeah. Because this is a different setup than what I usually do. Now running the query in the first page, so let's see if we could actually get something out. Let me turn this into async function. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna restart the whole thing because it's been getting a little bit out. So I'm gonna close the whole cursor and restart the whole thing. Let's get back to the full stack demo. Let's get all this out of the way. We're back. So now it should be okay. Wait, database. Yeah, it makes much more sense now. So db import. So let's select from all the users. And let's try logging everything out. So let's see if we could see that in the log. Let's restart the server. Okay, so we did see something. Yeah, because every time with the libscale, I do think it somehow we create the whole thing. Let me see. So the user is empty for some reason. Let me try rerunning run. See. We try refreshing the page, see if we see anything. Nope. Okay, let me see. That's a little bit weird. Database.select. Anyway, let me try running. It could be that it's not saving the value. Some reason. How about let me try out? Yeah, I'm gonna try inserting it directly right here. And then seeing it, we can get it back. Oh, okay. Now we could get it. Okay, got it. This is working. Okay. So this is working. And it's saving to the local file. For some reason, it's not inserting correctly when I run the other script. Let me check if it's actually running. Oh. How about to wait the whole thing, right? Probably haven't arrayed. Oh, yeah, that's true. I haven't arrayed correctly, so it never got into there. Yeah, so the seeding should also work. And I'm gonna delete the database right now and restart the dev server. Let me see if I need to restart. I don't think I need to restart this. Oops. Yeah, I think it's in memory right now. Do you think I have to restart the whole thing? So it created a new DB and to run the migration again. Yeah. Okay. Run migrated. Yeah, we should be having an empty list again. Okay. So that worked. The seeding and migration also work. And local development is going to save to your local.db, which I'm going to also add to git ignore. So let's ignore local.db. Perfect. So now that we have with these being set up, we're going to modify the schema, and actually I'm going to write out the migration in the flavor for we're going to save the user and the user's run result and using a webhook. So the whole thing would be, let me see. We would be actually needing a runs table. We'll be storing each of the runs and then going to have an ID. I think we can use a we could leave the created add. We could turn this into, we're gonna have a user ID, which is going to be a plain text and it will be not null. Yeah, I think we could use a UUID right here. Okay, so it didn't work again. UUID. So let me see. Do we have a UUID for WebSQL? That's interesting. CUID, right, contact. CUID package. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna just stick with the basic ID here because I've used the Postgres but not libSQL, so it seems a little bit different here. And having the primary key, let me see. Oops, that also be anyway. We can remove this as well. Default SQL. So we're not gonna have user. We're gonna have a very simple run table, which is gonna be we will have the ID, user ID, and also create add, and also let me see. We're probably need to have a image URL as well. So with text. Oops, that would suffix. If that's the case, we don't need to insert anything. We'll be inserting that after we have received the run, and then we'll get add that on to here. And let me check. Just what? and I want to make sure to disable. Really? I don't think they have auto incrementing. Let me see if they have a better example. Default height. Okay, interesting. So I have to do this. So I have to do this. So this will be integer ID primary key and auto increment is true. So this exists. Yeah, got it. If that's the case, it would be incrementing the ID every time. Got it. Will be generating the run, and then when run is finished, we'll be inserting the run metadata back here. I do think we will also need another test, which this would be the run ID, which we'll be getting from ComfyDeploy. Let me just separated by underscore. Okay, this sounds good. Now that we have the database set up, and then we'll be able to QE back all the runs. And now we're going to storing our own runs for the user. We have two things we have to also add, is adding the user authentication so that we have the user ID. So now that we have this, we'll be adding a quick user authentication using Clerk. So let me just use a very simple Google login demo, and then it will be a deploy demo. I'm just going to create the application, and I'll be using the default setup. Okay, so here, let me copy over this install script, and then we will be installing this, copying this to our local, let's see, where is it? Probably also want to make this local as well. Okay, and then I will be wrapping the layout. Okay, exactly here with Clerk provider. Import Clerk from here. So adding it really quick. It should be really quick integration. And TypeScript source directory as well. And I made a way here. So this will be handling the authentication. Right. So now I will be checking if that works. Okay, I'm gonna comment out this QE here because we removed the user database, because by using Clerk, they will handle all the user data as well. Actually, I think it's integrated. So we're going to add a sign in page right now. So we'll be app sign up, sign in. Yeah, since we're using Google, I think we can just use a sign in page. Renew folder. We'll remove the last one. Delete it. Page.tx6. Copy this over. And then if we go to sign in. Oh yeah, we should be having this dialog, and then we should be able to just create an account, sign that in. Yeah. Okay. So okay, great. So now we already have the sign in here. Let's change up. Yeah, let's also put it right here. So mostly following that setup is already pretty good experience. So now we have the sign in and database connected. And what we're gonna do next is to redirect the user to sign in whenever they go on to the first page. So Clerk have some sort of helper component which could protect you from showing specific thing. So if you sign it out, I'm going to display the sign. Yeah, for some reason it's keep sign in. So let's just display this very simple sign in button right here. Okay, so you'll be seeing sign in button right there. Yeah, I think it would be, let me check. I think it would be the user button that I want to show. User button, yeah. It'll show my little icon, and I could manage account. I could log out. Wow, this is very good. Oops. Yeah, it's a little bit weird that I probably wanted to change up my UI a little bit here. Not sure if that's the case, but probably I could have a nav bar right up there. And let's say, oops. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to display it right now just for the sake of demo. We're going to optimize the UI when we got everything connected. So now when I sign out, let me see. Oh yeah, the user button is gone. Probably what I'm gonna do here is if I'm going to display a signed out, I'm going to display a sign in button. So without any login, nothing here, I'll be displaying a sign in button right here. Okay, I'm going to make this centered. So yeah, so this looks way better. So continue with Google, pick the account, you go right back in, you see everything. Oops. Oh, let me see. Oh yeah, I accidentally duplicated the whole thing. So then you see your app layout, and if I sign out, I'll be seeing sign in right here. So this is a very bare bone example, seeing everything, and then you can log in, you go back to here, you see your login, you see your account. Okay, this is very good. This is getting really good. So what I'm going to do next is I could query from, I could use a hook. So I could get, let me see. So this will be using the auth buttons, auth function from Clerk, which will be able to extract the user ID. Oh, fuck. So we were able to get the user ID. And if we have the user ID, we'll be able to query from the runs table where runs start. This is perfect. Oh. Yeah, so this is the way that we could get all the user run, and then if we were able to get it, we would be able to display all the runs. How about I extract this to another component? So that could be fully service. I rendered it. Export function, async function, search parameters. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to move the logic here and to here, and then we will be so if we don't have user ID, we're going to return an empty component. But if we have the user run here, we'll be returning a component, and we'll be user. Okay. Then we have the run ID and just also display the image as well. So they should be having the image URL, and yeah, probably just put the ID right here. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. I'll be moving this. I'll be moving this to another file, and then I'll be displaying the user run right here. Bring it to here as well. Components. What we'll be seeing here is we'll be able to display all the users run. It's possible to be null. Okay, we'll have to make it null. Yeah, it could be null. Yeah, it could be null. Okay, anyway, let me just do this. If it is there, it will be rendered. If it's no, it will not. Okay, so we have the users, the list of run. We're going to display a list of run right here. I could make it a quick grid. And okay, so I'm going to make it a quick grid. It will display a list of grid. It will display a list of images. And now I'm going to add a webhook. So whenever the run is being triggered, I'll get everything back, and I'll get that thing into the database, and that would display in my front end. So if we go back to generate, the function in generate. Let's go back to the function generate, and let's go back to, I think we missed an import. Runs. No such table runs. Okay. Oh yeah. I think I have to, before that I have to rerun the migration. I'm going to delete the whole thing right here for a completely new start, and delete this as well. I will run generate. So I will create a new migration with just the simple database that we have. And then we'll be calling run migrate. That should be, see the database being created. Let's reload the whole thing. Okay, everything looks good. Perfect. Okay, so let's remove this as well. So now whenever we generate, we want to send a webhook back. So what I'm going to do is let's go back to ComfyDeploy and go back to the workflow that we just have yesterday. And we checked out the Clerk sample. And when we expand the run output with two methods of getting it, the one that we have been doing is like pulling canister. But we want to have that data in our database now so that all the thing is being saved it. One thing we can do is like copy over the whole thing. Oh, you could do is create a, let me see, create a new file right here. Do the thing, see if this will create directly. Yeah, this should go straight into it. I'm going to copy out the whole thing. And that would be, but yeah, that would be TSX. Okay, I'm going to fix that right after it. So having this here, let me see. I have to be sure that, oh, I think I've messed it. Perfect. Here, we'll be able to getting back the output data right here. So you can see it's also being typed it. Ideally, that image would be the first result in the image. And if the status is a success, so what we can do is, so we could totally, if the status is equal to success, we'll be inserting the db dot insert run values. It would be, so what do we have to put in? The run ID and the user ID as well. We have two outputs. We'll be getting the first output and then the images and then a URL as well. For the user ID, what we could be doing is we could be actually sending the user ID as a QE param so that we can get that from the webhook as well. But another thing that we could do is we create a run output first. When the user queue create the run, we'll be able to fetch it right after. Instead of, we should be inserting the value right up here. Yeah, so because we already have the run ID right here. So what I think we should be doing is, let me see, let me import it back. The run, and so that run ID would be this, and the image will be empty. And in here, we could totally do the same thing. The user ID is equal to auth. Then this will be the user ID. Okay. If there's no user ID, we'll have to throw an error, probably. User not found. So we'll insert the data right up here whenever we create a new run, and we'll be, instead of that, we'll be updating it. We'll be updating the whole run when it's success. But yeah, let me also log and update it. And this, let me do the image. Here it would be like this. And okay, so this is looking quite good. Now we have the webhook right here. We're going to update when we're calling this. So one thing to actually get the current URL, I'm going to copy over the code, one of the previous example. I'm going to next example, webhook route generate. So this, by using this function here, we would be able to get back the current URL correctly, and this would be a current endpoint. I would turn this into this endpoint API webhook. Yeah, by using the header, I can be sure that I'm getting, when I'm production, I'll be getting the correct URL for the endpoint. When I'm in my local environment, that would be actually the local host. but it wouldn't work well with localhost because the entire project right now, the part that involves ComfyDeploy, we have to call to the server. So if we currently do a generation, it wouldn't work. So we have to expose the local terminal to test it through the network. So we'll be using nrock, and if you don't have nrock installed, you can check on it, and then we'll expose 3001. So you could see my endpoint right here. I will be seeing a sign in button, and I'm going to sign in. Continue with Google, going with my personal email. That should redirect me back to here, and I'll be seeing myself being logged in right here, and then now I can generate. The whole thing will actually still behave the same, but we'll be waiting at GitHub here, so you can see the status is being sent back, queued it, current status, and then it's running. So this goes straight from a dashboard here to our backend. So you can see I get the image right here. So this is the output that we are having, and I will be saving that directly to the backend. So now the image is generated. I have that being updated. As it says, the data is in data image. So it should be updated to my local database. So now having the whole thing here, we could actually check the database. Let's just use Drizzle Studio. And we could actually spin up let's see, we have a Drizzle kit. Let's launch the Drizzle Studio. And we could see the data live. You have specific driver in your configuration. Just driver, where should I configure it? Driver would be oh, that would be libsql. And let me try again. URL is required option. Okay, let me see. Just making sure. I do think Bun should be able to load it, but for some reason it's not loading the. But I'm gonna install it anyway. Oh, okay, interesting. I think I don't need that actually. Actually it should be a URL. Is it like this? Where would be the config goes? Schema, driver, so. Oh, DB credential. Okay, got it. DB credential. That would be the right. Okay. Oops, about this one. Okay, let's try it again. Next Drizzle Studio. Okay, so Drizzle Studio is up. Let's just check if we have the run data here. Okay, we have it right there. We have the creation time. We have the run ID. Oh, this is perfect. This is so perfect. So now we see everything right here. Wow. And let's go back to check if we refresh the whole thing. We should be seeing the run. Yeah, this is coming from the run, user run. So now it will be able to actually fetch the correct data from the database. So you generate images, you install in your own database, you have user authentication, each user know like where their runs are being stored at. And yeah, and it's a matter of time for you to change out the UI a little bit to make it look like your own product. Yeah, so we could actually trick it a little bit here so the UI looks a little bit natural. Let me just do the whole thing flex column, so it's like down there, this being more perfect. So we'd actually do let me see, rounded, hidden, and yeah, we could actually generate a few more images that actually we could make the whole things in a square aspect ratio, hard coded aspect ratio right here, but you could change it so it's like squared at L. Yeah, refresh, you should be seeing all the images right here. This is looking really good. This is looking really good right now. What I could do next is, since whenever the web webhook hits, it probably didn't refresh the page correspondingly. Let me see. I'm not sure that would work, but I'm gonna try it. It's more like a experimentation. So whenever I hit the endpoint, I'm not sure if I revalidate the front page would that work. I don't really know yet. That wouldn't probably work because doesn't have your currency. So what I think we will be doing next is we'll be doing a pulling. We'll be doing instead of getting the user run right here. So since here we are getting the data, it's server-side rendered, so it will be only fetched runs when the router refresh. But we never know. We never communicate back from the. So we don't have a WebSocket connection. We never know when the image is being fully generated. So what we can do is we can do a pulling logic from our front end to our own database, to our own NextJS backend and query the database. So for that, we'll be using SWL. And let me show you how to do that as well in this video. So run SWL. And we'll be turning this into a client component. So here we'll be using use client. And we'll be turning this into a run, just perfect user. We don't need even to do this. We can get the user ID from here as well. User ID. So perfect. No user ID throws an error. And that would be a async function. And that would actually goes into his own file, and that would goes to here, and we will turn this into a server action. And one good thing with the whole use SWL is we can totally do this. So this will be used as SWL. Oops. Start a server. Oh, SWL. I think I installed it the wrong. Yeah, it should be SWL. I did install it. It didn't show up. Anyway, let me copy this. So, and then I'll be putting a key right here, and this would be a serve function directly. Let me restart it again. Import. Exported it. Here we'll be getting the user run directly, and if the user run is here, we'll be showing it, or else we'll be showing other thing. And what we can do is we can do a refresh interval. So we can do every 5 seconds is going to update itself of 5 seconds. It's going to update itself, and whenever it's loading, we can also show different status as well. But right now, I'm going to show you that it should just work directly. Let me see. User component right here. User run. I'm going to try restarting it. Probably installing the library messed up something. Okay, so this is looking pretty good now. Oh, this is the locals. This should be what I want. Okay, this is looking pretty good right now. And it should be actually updating every 5 seconds. Let's go to the network tab. Clear all the error. Every 5 seconds, you can see it's like fetching the server action. I can see it's like fetching server action. Now if we do generate, and image is generating. So let's wait a little bit. Status being queued up. We get it from webhook. And actually from here as well, we could also see the webhook status. So it's like a success. We actually received the webhook. And return success. So now like here, we got the image right here. You see it's also being updated right here. So this is in conjunction of a client-side validation. It will automatically refresh the whole data. And it's also being cached on the front end as well. So you can use the same data across pages. And yeah, this is how you could build a full stack image generation app very quickly. In the next video, we'll be doing something more. But now it's a lot right here already. I'm going to call it a day. And all the code right here, I'll be pushing it up. And you will be able to follow through. yeah, everything I do is live in this 2 video, and I'll be chopping it off in a whole video, so everybody could see how I do the whole thing. Yeah. So the whole thing could be deployed. I'll also include some more video afterward that how you could deploy the whole video. So how you could deploy the whole application. Right.